What the fucking hell? PS5 sucks.
Wait, we watched it install.
No. We came to it and saw nothing but a game icon that said it was ready to... Or not that it said it was ready to launch.
Wait.
It was just a regular-ass game icon and nothing else happening.
Is it downloading still?
Apparently. Cool, I guess we'll just come back in 2 hours.
We'll have to take it into the other room and then finish installing it.
About 15 minutes
Oh,
left.
I guess it is installed. It's installing, not downloading.
Oh. What the
Why is it unclear which it is?
PS5 sucks. All they had to do was not make their interface worse, and they were
Do you want to know
insisted
what?
on it.
You want to know what's crazy? When the PS5 came out, all people could talk about was like how good the interface is.
The PS5?
Yeah.
No, I heard Giant Bomb or Nextlander, whichever one they were at that point. Giant Bomb. I'm pretty sure Giant Bomb said this. They were like, oh, the interface is worse. They fucked up.
Well, I heard that the interface was better except for the the weird, do you have the PS4 or PS5 version of the game? That was the part that I remember.
The thing that drives me nuts, and I would get used to it if the PS5 were a machine I used regularly, but you know how every game system now does short press on the home button to bring up a menu, long press to bring up the turn off the console option.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite here, where you have to remember to do short press and then go all the way over to power to turn it off.
PS4 did the same thing. It was so many button presses to get to the thing to turn off.
No, it was a lot less. That's the problem, is they added presses.
I disagree.
I used my PS4 a lot.
My memory to turn off the PS4 was you had to hold the thing and then scroll to the end of a list that had 12 things, hit the sleep options menu, and then hit.
Yeah, you just held down the PlayStation button and it brought up the you want to turn it off option.
Oh, I don't remember that working. Maybe you had to hold it down for longer than I was expecting.
It says it's installed. That would be amazing if it was a bug. Just sorry guys, we can't play more. It says we don't have it installed. Of course,
it's Bloober Team.
Yeah, I was gonna
fucking.
It's Bloober Team. Why
are they letting Bloober Team do things?
The worst named studio in the world.
Has Bloober Team put out a game that people like? I don't even know why.
They did Outlast, right? And people liked that for some reason because they have bad taste.
Bloober Team. Wow, 2008, huh? They put out a game called Double Bloob for the DSi.
Double Bloob?
Double Bloob.
Original Silent Hill 2 and the remake, one of the only games with a puzzle difficulty slider.
Yeah. Layers of Fear, Observer, Blair Witch, The Medium. No, they did not do Outlast.
Oh. Okay, so the only thing I thought I knew they didn't do.
Yeah. Layers of Fear, Observer, Layers of Fear 2, Blair Witch, The Medium, Layers of Fear.
I've not played any of them.
And Silent Hill 2. Yeah, their big thing was The Medium. That was the big thing that people really liked from them. But I heard it was dog shit, so.
Wow, and I could have jogged the whole time.
And you could have jogged the whole time. Hey, it was cinematic.
It was cinematic. I mean, it was so cinematic, I thought it was a creative choice.
Hen Arcade says The Medium was heavily criticized. I mean, it's one of those things where a lot of people loved it and also it was heavily criticized.
Okay, you know what? We're watching this guy trot down this hill, okay? And we're watching it at a crisp, let's say 22 frames per second. Let's see what it looks like if we put on the...
I think that was 22.
It wasn't very high above 30 if it was above 30.
I don't think it was above 30.
Now look at this,
This looks worse. It does look worse.
What do you mean it looks worse? I was about to say it looks exactly the same.
It looks worse to me.
Nothing different but the frame rate.
Show me again. I think it looks flatter. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm misremembering how his jacket looked before. but I thought I saw it in the jacket.
This is why I default to performance every time. Is I just
Because you don't even want to see it look good.
No, it's the opposite. Is that I don't when it's just a binary choice on a console. In my limited experience with these things, I don't feel like the quality actually looks better. I think it's like they
you don't
did
see more
something
detail in the jacket.
Like it's like the ray tracing thing where it's like the frame rate is way worse because they're doing something really subtle that you can't even tell is there. And it's just like, just fucking give me the frames. Give me the thing I can actually notice. Like, I don't know, what is the ground, like, slightly, did it have a couple different less shades of brown on it or something? Like, it looks, I don't know.
Do you want to do a blind test? Do you want me to shut my eyes? You can pick one, and I'll tell you which one I think it is. Right now we're in performance.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Blind. Do the blind. I guess we'll show you two different ones, and then you can...
Oh, that's tough. Yeah.
Okay, look at this one. This one. Now look away.
Okay.
Well, I was thinking because there's movement in the frame, and so you could look at the frame rate. Maybe I'll find
I wasn't looking at movement.
I'll find something without movement, then you can like study it.
Oh, come on. I was locked in on a detail
sorry.
specifically.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Look at this.
Okay, so I don't know what this is.
Okay.
Do you? Okay.
Take in as you would like.
Okay, I'll still do it. I'll say. It was specifically stuff on the jacket that I was looking at, and I can't see his jacket
because it was in the light.
But I did like seeing.
Oh, see, that's interesting because, like, I think looking at the jacket,
I know, right? I'm going to tell you right now, this is quality.
Yeah,
I can tell on the jacket. It's super obvious.
Well, that's interesting because I'm thinking like, well, you don't look at his jacket when you're playing. You're busy looking at everything else, right? Like, it didn't even occur to me to look at his jacket.
Do you want me to do it again? Well, take 2 steps back so I can see the reflections too. Okay, this is perfect to me. Right here. Yeah. All right, so now Now I'll close my eyes again.
I bet it's the puddle reflections where we'll see all the difference. Oh, sorry. I switched the quality in front of you just now, so you watched both versions.
But now you're switching it to a random.
Oh.
But I did get quality right. It was
okay.
It was quality.
Yeah, sure. Well, now this is a 1.
A 1? You mean like a...
It's one of the two, and you can tell me which one it is, I guess.
Performance.
No, it's quality.
Well, you moved.
What do you mean?
You weren't in the same spot.
Like, I thought we would see better reflections. Those reflections look just as bad.
Mean... It's got to be blind, but you can't move to a new spot. I got to see...
You asked me to back up so you could see the reflections.
No, but you moved while I was eyes closed.
The point, I think this... I have a quick turn. That's nice. I think this admirably illustrates the fact that whatever the difference is here, it's highly... it's extremely close to being imperceptible.
It's close to being imperceptible.
Except for the frame rate, which is obvious. Looks so much better
I agree.
in performance.
I was pushing for quality just because of the game specifically. But I do think that frame rate and, I think specifically higher than 60 frame rate is by far the most important thing about a game. I think that we should forget about making games look better and start being like, yeah, every game needs to be 120 hertz minimum.
I just think like when you
it's like someone's groping around my skull.
When you have this binary of like the performance versus quality, what you're aiming for with performance makes perfect sense. You want the frame rate to be high. That's what makes it a performance mode. So you tune it to do that. Done. Then quality is very nebulous. You're just trying to make it look as good as possible, but like almost like the frame rate has to be low because that's what quality mode is. The trade-off is lower frame rate for higher visual quality.
Yeah.
And I feel like that.
What the hell? What's going on?
Dude.
Hold on. I'm going to Google this.
Yeah.
PS5.
Holy
Silent
shit,
Hill
man.
To, what did it say? Cannot proceed?
Cannot proceed until the game is fully installed. Hilarious, by the way, the idea that what we've played right now would even be worth it to give to somebody before the game is installed.
Yeah, would you like to go look at the number and see if it's higher than it was?
Number?
Yeah, didn't it say that 20% somewhere? Still says 20%.
About 15 minutes left. What it
said 20%?
No, this is like an achievement thing.
Oh.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? I don't know what to say. I mean, we literally watched the game install.
You gotta keep Googling if it's like a known bug with Silent Hill 2.
Bug.
What the absolute hell?
Let's around. I saw someone like complaining about how can I proceed until the game is fully installed? What? Yeah, what?
Yeah, check it out. The game or app you have installed is the latest version.
It sounds like you only downloaded the first 14 gigabytes or so that is required to start the game, but not the full thing. Check your downloads in the information tab on your PS4. Oh, this is for Elden Ring. It's the only thing that came up when I just assumed. Can I proceed past tutorial? This is also Elden Ring. Sorry if this is the wrong separate technical question.
It is still downloading.
How is it so hard to find that?
I fucking hate the PS5.
Yeah, so for people listening, the problem is that we're in my office, which is really far away from my router, and so we installed the game
in a totally different room.
In a different room.
And then brought it in here because we thought it was done.
Yeah. And it, by all obvious accounts, it had finished.
Like, look at this shit right here. It's just like, I'm the game. It's not like, hey, partially installed, start early. And, you know, you should say like ready to start. And we know that's different than like fully installed or whatever.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Crazy. Because it was on the download page and it I believe it automatically left that page to come here.
This is like the other side of the coin of like when the Xbox Series X came out, one of the biggest criticisms, at least I would say a criticism almost I had was like, it was almost disappointing that you looked at the dashboard and it was just like the same as the Xbox One. Like it felt like they didn't change anything.
It was great. And it was the best thing about it.
Yeah, it was kind of like, I kind of felt like, but you want it to be like new, right? So you get that new console feeling. But like after trying the PS5, no, they should have just left everything that worked, leave it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not a lot worked about the UI for the PS4. So
that's not true. It was great.
I hate it. I think it's pretty much just as bad as this. Well, this is worse because we found a glaring error in how it does things.
And even still now, I have to like remember how to get to downloads. When I have to push the button, there's nothing on the screen that says downloads.
Yeah, I find the Xbox interface so readable and everything is so obvious where it is. And I find the PlayStation, like the thing is, in fairness,
it had a lot of problems at the begin.
PS4?
Xbox One. Remember, like, it didn't even have, like, a settings button or something.
Oh,
remember, they had to add all that. There was, like...
I don't remember, but it was also over 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was a huge part of the narrative of the first year of the Xbox One was that the interface was bad and they had to release, like, massive overhauls.
I would love to hear, like, me talking about that on a podcast to see whether I was like, I disagree. I think it's fine.
I think you were basically saying that.
Yeah, so as long as I'm consistent, I'm fine if people say it's good. Because here's the thing. I literally do not trust people to say, like, things are bad. Like, I think about Domino's is a great example. Like, people were clowning on Domino's for years and years because their pizza is dog shit. And then Domino's goes, hey, we fixed it, doing absolutely nothing but adding genuinely unpalatable spices to the crust.
No, that garlic stuff is good.
It is not good. It's not terrible. Is it better than nothing? Maybe.
Definitely.
But people's whole perception around Domino's changed when that happened.
For a little bit.
Don't undermine me.
Okay.
this is the thing. You know, you can't trust people to be like, things have changed and they're better now, because I neither trust people's ability to judge anything or judge the quality of a change.
I found my Hyperkin Retron. I think it was Hyperkin. I found my Retron 3.
Cass Martin says, Keith, I think people might like garlic. I fucking love garlic. I put garlic in everything. This is not a don't like garlic issue.
I do think that I feel like you're letting your justified feelings of Domino's Pizza not being very good cloud the fact that stupid garlic butter stuff they squirt on the stuff tastes good. They put it on the cheesy bread too. It's good on there too.
I like the cheesy bread.
Yeah, it's part of the cheesy bread.
But the thing,
I don't know what they were doing before. They might have
what I'm
just
saying. It's not about the crust. It's about the fact that people talk about Domino's Pizza like it changed, and it didn't. They just added stuff to the crust.
That made it change. Right?
90% of the pizza isn't the crust. It is the like way that the cheese doesn't melt and turns into a weird glob. It's the way that the sauce tastes bad. It's the way that the bottom of the crust, the base of the pizza is so bad. Gnarly. It's
for me, it is 95% that fucking tomato sauce. Holy shit, it's so bad.
The sauce is so bad. And again, this is not about Domino's Pizza. This is about like people can't tell if they like something, why or why not, and they can't tell if something changed for the better or worse. Like again, I come across as so much more positive on the Xbox than a lot of people, but it's just because for some reason I'm not mad about the menu. Like I don't understand. I even, the blades, sure, fine. The blades were, I just found like every step of the way, I have been on board with the Xbox UI and off board with the Sony UI.
Video games lost their way as soon as they took out those blades.
And people used to hate the blades.
No, everyone loved them. That was the thing. No one complained about the blades. Everyone was like, blades are great. That's the craziest part. Everyone loved the blades.
I still like the blade. I like
Everyone
the blades.
likes the blades. That's the thing, is no one ever didn't like them.
I think
they should have just brought them back.
I think this is revisionist history.
No, seriously. Chat, tell me, did anyone dislike the blades? Did anyone say the blades had to go? Do you remember anyone who didn't like them? Because I don't.
I remember that here's my memory. Yes, it wasn't the issue that the blades moved super slowly. Yes, that was people's issue, that the blades were slow and unresponsive.
Wait, what do you mean? The blades were super fast. That was the whole thing, right? They flick.
This is what I'm talking about.
Are people now forgetting what the blades are, and they're talking about the thing that replaced the blades? Like,
that's the blades.
Okay. If you're imagining an Xbox 360 dashboard and you're imagining kind of like a whitish blank background with a bunch of squares that move around, that's not what we're talking about. That's the bad thing they replaced the blades with.
Cold Pie says, I only remember people being unhappy when they left. Yes, that absolutely happened. But that's the thing that I remember is people being unhappy with the blades, and then they left, and then people were unhappy that they left. That's my memory. Obviously, some people like the blades. I'm never gonna say people, because I'm one of them.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying
the thing was that the blades changed quickly, but then populated slowly. A lot of them, because I remember having a discussion with you. I swear to God, it was with you. I'm sorry if it wasn't, but I remember you being like, the blades move so slow. And I'm like, the blades don't move slow for me. And you were like, maybe it's because I have so many more games than you. Hey, we've got evidence in the podcast, if anybody remembers. If anybody remembers Blades discussion. Kyle's going somewhere, probably to the bathroom. Bridget Jones says, I have no idea what the blades are. The UI, I appreciate this argument. Sounds like two knights who are mad about their liege lord giving them maces, though. The blades were the original Xbox 360 interface, where you had like 5 pages, and each page was a category like games, store, settings, etc., media. And in order to swap blades, you could D-pad over, like over to the next page, like item by item, or you could click the bumpers to like quick swap through the blades. They're called blades because they had like the thing that said which thing it was like a long slice, a vertical slice. J-Pox has kind of felt like folders in a filing cabinet. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I remember, and you had the themes. The themes are so fun, and because the blades had 4 different screens, you could have 4 different wallpapers. So it was always like a wallpaper pack. I remember I had a BioShock one where like one thing was like the entryway of Rapture, and one thing was like the lighthouse, and one was something, a Big Daddy or something.
And the sad thing now is that the Xbox Series X interface has pages that could easily be blades but aren't. Like they have like,
but I think they did bring back the like wallpaper pack thing. Can't you have like multiple things that you
can
flip
have
through?
wallpapers.
So that's a good. So there's an improvement on the Series X.
Yeah,
I'm thinking back now about like when the time the blades got replaced. Like,
to the NXE.
I do remember not like. I don't remember wanting the blades to go away. I also don't remember that not wanting them to go away. I think I was just at a time, like I think the Xbox was in a place and I was in a place where I was just so happy with the Xbox that when they were like, we're overhauling it, I was just like, cool, what you got for me?
Sure, yeah, maybe.
Because also the NXE, that is the thing that I really remember getting slow.
Yeah.
In the later years of the
People
Xbox
really
360,
didn't like the NXE.
just because I don't even think it was a thing with the dashboard. I think it was just the system. The Xbox 360 was not designed with the idea that you were going to have a massive library of hundreds of
downloadable
titles.
games. Yeah, totally. Yeah, the NXE was like definitely the low point. It was also
the new Xbox experience.
The new Xbox experience. It was also another one that I was like not as cold on as other people, and it also didn't have as many downloaded games as a lot of people did.
Who could forget that it introduced the avatars?
And it introduced the avatars, which suck ass. They fucking blow.
And that was back before they redesigned the avatars. They look really
That was when,
good.
Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft, like, they had not really figured out that they don't need to be reacting to each other. Like you can just see fucking like a Microsoft exec being like, we've got to have our answer to me.
I mean, they kind of did, because a lot of things were changing. Like, if you remember, like, the PS3 wasn't even planned to really have a downloadable store. And it was Xbox Live Arcade after just 1 year that made them go, oh shit, we got to change that.
What I meant was that Microsoft and Sony need to react to each other and not to Nintendo.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
Nintendo
yes.
also needs to not react to Microsoft and Sony.
True.
So, like, being like, we need Wii stuff in here was like a huge bad, like really negative era for both Microsoft and Sony.
Weirdly though, like,
although Sony pulled it out in the end with the Move controllers that you can use for
the PSVR.
PSVR, yeah.
Weirdly, yeah, it was weird that like the PlayStation Move controllers were the ones that actually worked at what they were supposed to be.
Totally.
And
they
so
were
at
Motion
least,
Plus.
They were at least good at being what they claimed to be. It was the Kinect that was the massive hit because it seemed so cool and completely sucked ass and was totally unusable.
It actually would have been better for Microsoft, way better, if the Kinect bombed immediately.
Literally, yeah.
Like, if nobody bought a Kinect, it would have been much better.
Because tons of people bought the Kinect. No one liked it, I don't think, really. But then the success of the Kinect convinced them they had to pack one in with the next console, right?
I know.
Forgot about that.
Horrible.
They packed in the
never
Kinect.
Forget about that, yeah. And it was like $50 more than the PS4, right?
And
because you had to get the Kinect with it.
And the thing that blew my mind about it, I think they stopped packing it in by the time I got a Xbox One, but I still got a Kinect anyways because I was sick in the head and wanted one. and also wanted the voice controls.
It was worth the low price for the voice controls.
This is one of the craziest things to me. It had voice controls where you could like, and it had the IR blaster, so it could send TV remote signals to your television. And so you could be like, Xbox, volume up, and it would send the volume up signal to your television. It would crank the volume a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was really good. This was like in the year my daughter was born. So I spent a lot of time walking around with a baby in my arms and
controlling the TV with
controlling
the
TV with my voice. Xbox, pause. Xbox, volume down. All this stuff.
It worked so much better than my like new 4K TV has the same thing built into the remote.
Yeah,
and it's dog shit.
Because it wasn't hitting the internet. It was all local.
Yeah.
The program for processing your speech and deciding what you were saying, it was all on the Xbox, and it was nearly instant. And then they came out with Cortana, and they added Cortana to the Xbox, and great news. All your television voice controls, they're all gonna go through Cortana now. Never fucking worked right ever again.
Yeah.
And then they killed it.
They killed it.
Yeah, no more voice controls. It was bad.
Ted, my cousin Ted, who is a like back-end developer for like the healthcare industry or whatever, but who's always been like the computerist guy that I know.
He is the bleedingest edge computer guy. He always wants the newest thing.
Well, no, he actually outgrew that.
Oh,
he
yeah?
just like knows about computers like at a very base level now. He like just upgraded from like a 30 series, like at a low 30. He used to have the hottest, newest graphics card all the time.
Hey man,
until about 5 or 7 years ago, and he's like, no, I'm kind of done doing that.
Hey, I have a 3070. You better not be about to act like 30 series is outdated.
Well, it's outdated because of who Ted is,
sure,
not because of any other reason. And now he's more like I just don't even have Windows anymore. I just have only Linux.
Like,
my God, really his thing now. But
oh well, I hear it's getting really good for games these days.
It is. He's had like no problems gaming. Yeah, I play games with Ted all the time. From his Linux.
I know, but you still just don't have all the games. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that he has yet to encounter one compatibility issue.
Okay.
In about a year or maybe 8 months or something. Anyway, before we start this, I can't remember why I brought Ted up because we were talking about his. Ted's conspiracy theory. I don't know how valid this is, but Ted has a conspiracy theory about Microsoft, which is that like because Microsoft considers Xbox as like a development playground that it can push around, instead of letting Xbox kind of do their own thing to make the best product, the core Microsoft executives force them to like include experimental features, which always make everything worse. This is why Ted claims that the Xbox app on PC is such garbage, is because it was like developed using some special Microsoft stuff, and Microsoft was like, you have to develop it using you can't make it be a good normal program. Everything has to be like our special new feature thing, which is
that's just a corporate.
Also why, but
overlord.
It's not a problem that Sony has because of the way, like, yeah, Sony doesn't treat PlayStation in like, PlayStation, we should do our best to make PlayStation work as good as possible, but they also don't have this other arm of their business that is like PC shit. You know what I mean? So they're not like constantly developing PC technology that they force Microsoft to include into Xbox things. This is his conspiracy theory. I buy it.
Is this based on anything, or is this just like his feeling?
I think it's based on something, but I couldn't explain to you exactly what it. Like, I know what he said that the Xbox stuff is developed using, the PC Xbox app, and I can't remember why it's weird and bad and different, but it is.
I feel like tech companies have just run out of like new technologies to come out with, but that's what like drives their stock price, is like them coming out with like a new exciting technology every 12 months or whatever. And so
yeah, like Cortana,
all the tech companies that just don't have anything anymore because tech has kind of plateaued in a way, they are now just like constantly pushing out these like underbaked like gimmick things all the time to show investors like, see, isn't this exciting? Look at this new thing we're doing.
Stupid. Library Cats and Bridget Jones are basically both like, yes, this makes sense. Microsoft's tech being absurdly self-sabotaging.
I'm not sure I buy the idea that it's as an experimental playground thing so much as it's like bringing Xbox, in line vertically with the rest of the Microsoft platform.
Sure. I think experiment can have its roots in investor bullshit and board member garbage.
All right, now let's pretend all that stuff we just talked about never happened, because maybe I'll put it at the end of the thing or something. We can't just have a chunk of